Hello everyone, very glad to be back here today. I am Marian and this is Stories, Treasures, and Tea. And for those of you who have joined me and subscribed, thank you very much. For those of you who are brand new, if this is your first time, a warm welcome to you. I'm going to start today with treasures, and I did go to a couple of thrift shops, but as you know, I like to go to them. I had what I called a thrift shop go wrong, because what happened is I bought this beautiful picture. I thought it was beautiful. It was for my bedroom wall, and it was a girl that actually reminded me of my oldest daughter when she was young. I thought it looks like my daughter when she was sad, when she was a little girl. And I thought, I'm going to get that. So I got that picture and I put it on my bedroom wall. And the next morning when I woke up, because I could see it from my bed, I thought, that picture is too sad. So my daughter, Jessica, who the picture reminded me of as a little girl, she said to me, Mom, I think that picture is a little girl in mourning in the Victorian times. So I thought, okay, I have to get rid of that picture. So I actually put it on Facebook Marketplace. It didn't sell. So I gave it away back to the thrift shop. So that was kind of my treasure gone wrong. So what I did do this week, though, is I went to, of all places, Walmart. And Walmart was full of beautiful spring colors, spring and Easter. It was just beautiful. I'm going to show you my treasure that I got actually from Walmart, and I just loved it because I call it a charcuterie board, but it looks so nice for spring. And I don't know if charcuterie is popular where you are, but in this area, charcuterie is very popular right now. So it could be used for a cutting board, or like a personal, or maybe for two kind of snack. So I really loved that at Walmart. So that was my treasure this week. And I also noticed that there were a lot of inspirational messages on home decor, which there is a lot of. I've seen in HomeSense, and I saw some in Walmart this week. And I wondered how you felt about those inspirational messages on home decor things. For the most part, I love them. I have a friend that absolutely hates them. So I want to hear your thoughts on what you think of those messages. And the other thing I want to talk about, of course, is my tea. And as you can see today, I'm a little more dressed up because I'm going to an event tonight with my daughters. They came up with this idea or saw it advertised, and what it is, it's a documentary in a old vintage kind of theater here in the city, and it's a documentary about the food scene in our city. And there's going to be different food vendors there that I believe are in the documentary. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's why I'm a little more snazzy today. And speaking of snazzy, my tea, because I was more dressed up, I decided to go for our Buckingham Palace tea, which is what the Queen, God rest her soul, had at her high tea. She would have like a spring tea every year. I don't know what they're going to do this year. Of course, I don't think they had it for COVID anyway, but her spring tea would be hundreds of people. And I think it was in the gardens. I'm not sure exactly where, but this tea, it's called Buckingham Palace, which is what she would serve. And it is actually a mixture of jasmine and Earl Grey. So it's kind of black and green tea. It's very nice. It's delicate. I chose this black kind of regal looking cup and saucer today, which was actually my aunt's. We were gifted this from my aunt. We have cups and saucers on online. They're vintage. Not this one, because there's certain ones that we will not sell, of course, because it's sentimental. This was from my aunt. It was actually her daughter who gifted it to me. And, excuse me, this aunt, amazing. She lived to be, I think she was 98, and she had 12 children and an adopted child. Amazing. So this Buckingham Palace tea is quite delightful. I love it. So the next thing I want to talk about is stories. And we have been talking about sometimes end of relationships, because as you know, I was married for a long time and it ended. And I want to talk about firsts as far as holidays. So the first Christmas, the first Easter, the first Thanksgiving, if you celebrate those things. Whatever anniversary. And I remember hearing that the first holiday will be difficult when you've parted ways, and it was. But what I found was, and people would try to be with me on those first holidays, but what I found was the second year was equally as difficult. So what can we do about getting through those firsts or seconds, maybe even thirds for some of us? I'm going to just read this suggestion, which these are suggestions that I read long ago when it all happened and used. So I'm going to read that from this author that I like so much. And he talked about what to do when it's the first holiday. Just 4 things I'm going to read. He said, do not try to avoid the fact that the other partner is not there, because it is healthier to face this than to ignore it, even if facing it is more painful. And it is painful. But again, it's that you have to get through that difficult part in order to get to the other side. Absolutely. The second thing he said was, keep working on building up your self-esteem, since the better this is, the better you will be able to handle the stress of these special holidays. The third thing he said was, do make enough plans for the holidays so that you don't sit around and mope. But on the other hand, if you don't feel like going to relatives and you feel like you'd be just better staying at home, do that as well. It's your choice. But I think it's better to keep a little bit busy at the bare minimum for sure. And the fourth thing he said was, start some new traditions. for this new situation. It's good for you psychologically. So I thought they were some good suggestions. And some of the comments that I got this week, there was one subscriber friend that said she had been married and she ended it. Even though she ended it, she still felt grief. And I think no matter what the situation, it's a difficult time in our lives, for sure. She also said that she tried to date, and in the beginning, she went on a couple of dates, and it just wasn't right for her. And then she thought she'll try it again sometime, and 30 years later, she hadn't tried it again. So, and now she thinks maybe it's too late. I have been listening to these YouTube people, and the one lady that was my very first inspiration. She is my inspiration to start a YouTube channel, but she's also my inspiration for life lessons. And her channel is called Life Over 60 with Sandra. And interestingly enough, she is, if you remember the show Romper Room for children, she was the woman that would have the magic mirror and look through and say, I see Kathy and I see Marian. She was Miss Sandra. So her channel is Life Over 60 with Sandra, but she is over 80. And just this week, she talked about that she doesn't want to be stuck. She wants to move forward, that it's not like we just sit here and wait to die. Her plan is to travel solo, which she never did. Her husband passed away not too long ago, and she said it's going to be very difficult, but she is going for it. And I just think that's so inspirational. It's like Betty White. Betty White is my idol. I just loved how she was positive all the way through life and lived to be almost 100. So the other content creators that I've liked, Little Poet is I just love her. She's positive, she's beautiful, she's full of energy. She's had some difficult times in her life too. And I always admire those who have difficulties through their life, but come out of it with a positive attitude. Doesn't mean we're happy all the time, but just to be positive. And the other one I like too is Kathy A, and I think it's spelled A-A-Y. Very interesting to watch. So that's all we've got for today. Our Lilibet is asleep. I thought she might make an appearance, but she didn't today. So I hope that next week you will be back. I hope you have a good week. Spring is in the air, and I love it. So until next week, have a safe week and a good week. Bye-bye. Our Lilibet has made an appearance because I gave her some cheese. Say hello to the people. Say hello, everybody. This is our beautiful little Lilibet. I think she's getting better. She's looking for more cheese. There's no more, honey. What do you see there? Lilibet. Lilibet. Hi, pretty girl. You see the birdies? What a good girl you are. What a good girl.